Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 20 most miserable cities in Europe. The world has descended into turmoil after the pandemic. It's made life difficult for almost everyone with changes in our lifestyles, fear of the unknown, sickness, death, and depressed economics. Other factors that influence the perceived and real quality of life include unemployment and inflation, contributing to the overall misery of life for people in some sectors of society. We looked at the European front and found that several countries have a high misery score for their citizens. England, Italy, Spain, and France report some of the most miserable living conditions for some people. We first looked at the most miserable countries, then broke it down into the cities with the largest concentrations of sad residents. The European Commission Health and Consumer Protection Directorate-General issued a report that highlights some of the most depressed and unwell cities in the EU. They cited high numbers of mental health diagnoses among their citizens. The numbers are sobering. Here are the 20 most miserable cities in Europe. We've included the reasons why the quality of life is currently taking a downturn. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 20 most miserable cities in Europe. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 20 most miserable cities in Europe. Number 20. Nottingham, England. According to Somerset, Nottingham is among the top 5 cities in England with people experiencing extreme stress. The reason is due to the impact of the pandemic and list effects on their jobs. Secure employment is an ongoing problem in the city without a pandemic. Nottingham is one of the most miserable cities in England and Europe because of the high stress levels among residents and their inability to maintain secure employment. Number 19. Brighton, England. Some residents of Brighton participated in a survey to assess their stress levels and degree of happiness. 50% of the respondents reported feeling some degree of pressure and stress. They feel miserable because of the current economic situation in the city. It's getting more difficult for older residents to find part-time to full-time jobs. Those who are employed worry about becoming sick when working with the public during a worldwide pandemic. These factors combine to make Brighton one of Europe's most miserable cities. Number 18. Dudley, England. Dudley is a miserable place to live because it has a low happiness index score. It falls below Nottingham with a score of 7.0. Wales Online lists it as the saddest town in England. The reasons include scores of elderly who feel lonely and secluded. A lack of human companionship is an ongoing problem among this segment of the population. The ongoing pandemic is only one of the reasons for the documented rise in unhappiness. Number 17. Bristol, England. 50% of the people surveyed in Bristol claim that they feel miserable because of the current economic circumstances and pervasive health concerns due to the pandemic. These are the top 2 factors that are making Bristol one of the most miserable cities in Europe. Residents have little to do for fun and little money to spend on the limited activities available for public interaction. Number 16. Liverpool, England. Liverpool has a high rate of stressed-out residents. Respondents to the same survey reported a higher level of stress and worry. It's a city hard hit by the pandemic with health services stretched to their limits. Those who need regular healthcare have trouble obtaining it. Their health concerns get put on hold due to the numerous COVID-19 cases flooding into healthcare facilities. 75% of respondents say that job stress has taken a toll on their mental health and happiness levels. Number 15. Madrid, Spain. Idealista reports that Spaniards highly value cleanliness in their city streets. A few cities in Spain excel in maintaining clean and sanitary living conditions, but others fall short. Madrid is listed as one of the most miserable cities in Europe to live for those who demand living in clean and orderly neighborhoods. Number 14. Alicante, Spain. Alicante is a city that could do a lot better with its waste management systems and street cleanliness. Even though the town's residents would like to see change, not everyone holds these values equally. Those with poor hygiene habits contribute to the problem of garbage in the streets. It's even worse for having dirty streets than Madrid. It's miserable to live under the dirty condition where it's not safe or healthy for children to play outdoors because of the poor waste management systems. Number 13. Palma, Spain. Palma, Spain is one of the most miserable cities in Spain, if your parents raising school or university-age children. While Vigo, Zaragoza, and Bilbao rank among the top-rated cities for educational opportunities, Palma has the worst rating in Spain. People who live in Palma have few educational options. It's one of the factors that make this city a miserable place to live. Number 12. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona is one of the worst places in Spain if you value environmental quality and clean air. While Bilbao, Zaragoza, and Vigo boast the best air quality in Spain, Barcelona and Madrid tie for the worst two cities in all of Spain. Pollution is one of the biggest factors that makes Barcelona a miserable place for those with allergies or respiratory problems to live. It has some of the most terrible air quality scores of all the major urban areas of Spain. Number 11. Catalan, Spain. People who live in Catalan also know that they're in one of the least safe cities in the country. It's not much fun to live under conditions that put you at a higher risk of becoming the victim of a crime. Catalan is one of the most unsafe places to live for its citizens. The fear of crime puts it up high on the misery factor and qualifies the city for inclusion in our list of the 20 most miserable cities in Europe. Number 10. Rome, Italy. The local lists Rome as one of the worst cities in the world to live in. It has received low scores because of its work-to-life balance, a weak economy, and great difficulty in achieving career advancements. 3/4 of the people surveyed are dissatisfied with the local economy and their career opportunities. Housing is sparse and not affordable, and the public transportation system needs improving. 2,000 Romans surveyed shared their concerns that the quality of life is on a downward spiral from where it sat just 5 years ago. Air quality, the cost of healthy foods, and life expectancy are also concerns of the residents. Number 9. Milan, Italy. Milan is a miserable place to live unless you're wealthy. The cost of living is so high in this city that it's hard for the average citizen to make ends meet. With the recent pandemic taking a toll on the healthcare system, it's a frightening place to live if you have any medical condition because it's hard to obtain even the most basic health services with the continuing increase of hospitalizations due to COVID. It's hard to find quality healthcare for non-life-threatening conditions. If you manage to get in for an appointment, it's a place to become exposed to illness with so many affected by COVID. Number 8. Naples, Italy. According to Business Insider, Naples is one of the most miserable places to live, and it's not a place that is high on the list of destinations for travelers either. We learned that Naples has long been a dumping ground for toxic waste. The environment is polluted. Not only is trash dumped in the streets, but for decades, it has been the destination of toxic nuclear waste. It's not a good place to live. People who reside there live in fear of developing a life-threatening illness, and many already have due to the toxic environment. Number 7. Florence, Italy. The World Health Organization has listed Florence as one of the unhealthiest places to live in Europe. The quality of the air in Florence is affected by pollution. PM10 has for decades contributed to a rise in respiratory illnesses and higher mortality rates for residents of the city. This city is a miserable place to live for people with respiratory problems. It's got to be tough knowing that you can also shorten your life if you spend years living there. Number 6. Genoa, Italy. Genoa is a city that the World Health Organization lists as one of the most unhealthy environments. Hospital admissions, higher bronchitis rates, and a higher mortality rate because of air pollution are listed as realities for the citizens of Genoa. Years of continued exposure erode the respiratory health of residents. Number 5. Turin, Italy. Italy is a country that has more than its share of unhealthy cities. If it's not the economy bringing about misery, it's the poor air quality or lack of good waste. Management services. Turin is yet another Italian city listed as dangerous because of air pollution by the World Health Organization. More incidences of adverse health outcomes due to air pollution are reported for Turin's residents. Number 4. Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I Am Expat lists Amsterdam as one of the most miserable cities to live in the Netherlands. The city has the ranking of the most dangerous city in the Netherlands. An explosive crime rate makes it unsafe just to walk down the streets by yourself. The incidences of violent crimes, thefts, and robberies are high in Amsterdam. It would be miserable to live your life on guard for criminals. It's depressing to work hard to obtain the things you need in life, only to have them stolen or vandalized when you're at work. This is one of the greatest disadvantages for the people who live in Amsterdam. Number 3. Athens, Greece. Greek Reporter lists Athens as one of the worst places in the country to live for drivers. It takes the prize when it comes to charging high fees for parking, taxes, and fuel. Athenians' life quality is diminished by high transportation costs. Enjoying the other amenities but remains a contention for citizens. The overall safety of the roads also gets a poor rating with multiple fatalities and road rage incidents reported. This is one of the reasons why taxi services are so expensive in the city. Residents of Athens are not happy with the current transportation problems in the area, and it's miserable whether you use public transportation or attempt to operate your vehicle. It contributes to the overall misery experienced in the city. Number 2. Marseilles, France. Travel.com lists Marseille, France as one of the worst places in Europe to live. Located in the southern region of France, the city is one of the country's largest trading ports and a major hub for economic activity. As such, it has also attracted its share of criminals who make their living by preying on the vulnerable. The incidences of pickpocketing, mugging, and other types of petty theft are higher in Marseille than in any other large city in France. The crime rate is high and the number of police officers is low. This issue exists because of the low investment in law enforcement due to inequality and corruption. Number 1. Moscow, Russia. Moscow is Russia's capital city. The city is the home of 12.2 million citizens and it serves as one of Europe's cultural centers. Although it is a popular tourist destination, the number of crimes committed in the city is frightening. It's a miserable place to live because there are numerous robberies, car thefts, and violent crimes that occur regularly. Everyone who lives there knows that it's a dangerous place to live, and this helps to contribute to feelings of fear and depression. The high crime rate in Moscow makes this one of the most miserable places in all of Europe to live. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your thoughts on the worst places among the top 20 most miserable cities in Europe in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.